Dude, Luke, the printer's still busted. What the fuck, man?
Luke, almost 2 years. Which part of the dress code don't you understand?
So I'm like not getting my girlfriend's Snapchats. Are you working on something?
What the fuck does that mean?
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode 55 of the Topless Robot Podcast. My name is Ryan.
I am Brooks.
I'm Tyler.
I'm Dan. And we have no guest this week. After we went hard on having a guest like in almost every episode for a little bit there.
Hey, man, it's rad.
Yeah. We will, be having more guests at one point or another.
Maybe next week.
Oh, no. We have to.
Yeah, when we don't have
podcast
Brooks next week.
Yes.
on our own merit this time.
Yeah, right. Oh,
What is this?
we don't have Paul to just grab the mic and run.
It's a nice little break.
without me.
My throat was hurting a little bit last week. It was kind of nice to just sit back and watch the show.
Your throat was hurting because you were laughing so hard by being burned so bad.
Yeah, I posthumously looked up what burn units on Wikipedia after that.
Posthumously.
I died.
Posthumously.
Is that how you pronounce
Yes.
that?
Yeah.
Again,
Posthumously.
never heard that said out loud.
That was like a joke.
I shall reference the dictionary joke from our previous episode. Link in bio.
Posthumously. Good to know.
So this week, in our own content, saw the release of my personal favorite episode of Fire Emblem. Because
I start off by singing City Escape.
Oh man, I gotta watch this.
yeah,
I haven't seen it yet. This is
It's only
great.
like the first 5 seconds.
it's just and it was we were both singing it between episodes, and
Put the bass line from that song.
I don't even remember why.
I don't remember why either. I think it was like stuck in my head or something, and
I still know all the words.
it cracked me up so much, so I turned it into a cold open.
Yeah, why the fuck not?
Yeah. Oh man, my parents. I didn't have the game. I did not have Sonic Adventure 2 for a super long time. Mm-hmm. But my parents, they were like, "Oh, you're into video game music. Here, we got you the Sonic CD." So I had the soundtrack for Sonic Adventure 2, for maybe 8 years before I actually had the game.
That's funny.
And so I had all the songs memorized because when you have 5 CDs and one of them is a TV show theme song greatest hits, you're gonna listen to the to Knuckles rapping.
I was about to say, can you do the Pumpkin Hill rap from memory?
No, I cannot do the Pumpkin Hill rap. But I can do Aquatic Mine. Let's take a dive in Aquatic Mine. Once was a coal pit, now it's a water ride. Doing things you like to do, get to shine. And it sure beats fighting foes all the time. But I gotta do it because I'll stay out of line.
Oh my god.
That was beautiful. Bravo.
You know,
Bravo.
that's a deep cut because I think everyone only knows Pumpkin Hill.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Brent knows even more lyrics than I.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh boy.
Of course he does. He's probably listening right now, rapping them silently to himself, going, Brooks, why didn't you say these lines?
Is that just how you imagine Brett
man.
all the time?
Yes.
He's just sitting in his room with
All I
headphones
can
on,
say is that
rapping
X7
obscure
is coming.
songs.
No. Just in that moment. But I know that he watches the podcast going, why did no one laugh at what Brooks just said? Or why didn't anyone make this joke?
One of these days, I'm just gonna spout a string of just coded in jokes from when I was 12. Just like Baby Wizards, and getting pumped about playing Sonic R.
Oof.
Yeah, that's a whole joke, except that it wasn't. Hey man, it was a Sonic game. We had to play whatever we could.
So the Joker came out this week.
Yes.
I saw it. It was very good.
Apparently, our society gave it very high ratings.
Wrapped in any type of controversy you can fucking throw at it. You've got the people who are still focused on the Colorado theater shooting
Yep.
from ages ago.
People who assume every Joker film was going to have someone shooting it up because was society.
Yeah.
I mean, at the same time, though, like, well, it is a concern we have to have now.
Which
And
is
now we
really
need
unfortunate.
statements from everyone. You know, like all the headlines were parents of those lost and wounded in Aurora make statement about the Joker movie. All right, theater makes statement about the in Aurora makes statement about the Joker movie. Cool. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I
People
mean,
are looking for conflict, man.
yeah, I understand that's a fixation point in these people's lives, and rightfully so, because they lost people forever.
Absolutely.
But that doesn't mean it's relevant every time a movie comes out.
Right.
It's just milking it for press.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I heard that Joaquin Phoenix's performance was really, really good.
It's incredible.
But it is essentially an homage to the Scorsese flicks Taxi Driver and King of Comedy.
I love Taxi Driver.
So much so that De Niro is in the film.
That's the thing where it's just like, yeah, everyone's freaking out about the Joker thing, but yeah, it has a very similar beat to Taxi Driver. I mean, it's not the same movie, obviously, but the tension and the way the movie progresses and unfolds and ends, even in a way, is very Taxi Driver.
Sure. And
So-
that's by design.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the reasoning behind that is fucking stupid. Because the dude who made the movie said that he had to make this movie because you can't make comedies anymore because of woke culture.
Oh, boo!
So that's the other bit of controversy that has been surrounding this film is the dude who made it is a fucking jackass.
That's not very woke of you, dude.
I'm sorry, am I insulting your culture? You jackass.
Hee-haw.
Had to make this movie because
That's so dumb.
You can't make comedies
That's
in a
so
woke
stupid.
culture.
So the same guy made Old School and
I forgot about that
dumb
movie.
throwaway comedies that are irrelevant within 5 years.
Sorry, you can't make a comedy movie that doesn't rely on low-hanging fruit, sex, and just random shock.
Yeah.
And maybe
Comedy.
he shouldn't if he just made a really good non-comedy movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, maybe try to make this your day job.
Maybe don't be a jackass and just make movies like this.
Yeah.
Did he say this after the movie came out, like recently? I didn't see this.
No, it was
headline.
before.
Oh,
it was
okay.
like the week of release or something like that. And I can't remember who I saw responding to this, but they're like, oh, yeah, it's absolutely woke culture. You can't make comedies anymore, except there are comedies coming out all of the time, and they are fucking great and hilarious.
Or if they aren't, then nobody cares.
And you know, maybe it's you just can't make comedy about shitty people. Oh wait, Always Sunny is one of the most expertly crafted, you know, hilarious shows ever to grace the television, and it's no one's mad about Always Sunny.
Yeah, because when they touch on insensitive topics, they do it in a way that always paints the four main characters as bad people.
Exactly,
They're
because
always
they
bad people.
are.
Yeah.
You're allowed
even
to
the
make-
creators even said, like, the reason they don't succeed is because we don't want them to.
Right.
They're supposed to fail. They suck. Like,
Yeah. That's
It's like
the
Goofus
thing.
and Gallant, you know?
You can make these, you know, touchier jokes or whatever if, first off, the commentary that you're making is
poignant.
yeah, you're not just making a racial stereotype joke for the sake of making a racial stereotype joke. Like you can't fall on a shitty character in a story that you're writing to be the one to say the racist jokes just because you want to tell racist jokes.
Bingo.
And
It's gotta be earned, and it's gotta be.
you know, it's
believable.
Clever.
First off, if you're going to make an irredeemable character, then make sure they're fucking irredeemable, and you're never painting them in a positive light. They are fucking irredeemable, and then they can say whatever the fuck they want. But
And
even
we can hit them
still,
with a bus.
even still, it can't boil down to non sequitur shit fuck ass. You know, like you have to still make them a well constructed, horrible person.
Hold on. Are you telling me they have to be a good writer to write?
Go figure.
Well, now we're going to get a new superhero movie about shit fuck ass.
That's fuck shit ass.
But like, don't blame the way that culture has shifted for your inability to write for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, in the future, like looking back on movies like that already exist, 2000s comedies.
Yeah.
Early 2000s comedies, me in particular, very guilty of that kind of thing. I mean, we're going to be able to look back on that with some kind of context as to, well, this is what people used to think was funny. And then, now we can laugh about, it's like, man, that was really terrible, wasn't it? Like Cabin in the Woods, like, what was the line that Dylan and I can't stop laughing at is just how bad the movie is. Like one of the characters like quotes, like says, squirrels are gay, unquote.
What the fuck?
Yeah, just like that kind of like insult thing. Was that like throwaway line? But just like
that's not in Cabin in the Woods.
Yes, it is. I'm sorry, Cabin Fever.
Thank you.
Sorry, Cabin Fever.
I was gonna say, I don't remember
How
that.
dare
Cabin in the
you
Woods.
No, Cabin in the Woods is
sully
good.
Cabin in
the
the Woods
name
is
of
hilarious.
Cabin in the Woods?
Well, it's Cabin Fever, an Eli Roth bit.
Okay, yeah, go figure.
Yeah, that was just it was an irredeemable movie full of shitty people, and they all like die at the end. So, but like, we can't have that anymore. That's just not cool. It's not cool.
Bill Hader, I think, came out and said recently, where just like it was a comment on how comedy has evolved, and it's like he doesn't want to make those jokes anymore because it's not funny, and it should be that way. Things have changed. Like, I mean, that boiled it down. I don't remember exactly what he said, but even like in this, because you hear a lot of comedians come out recently. Oh, we can't make these jokes anymore, and like it's nice to see. Oh yeah,
we haven't grown.
It's like, come on, the Saturday Night Live writer that just got kicked off like on his first. I don't remember his name.
He didn't even start.
Yeah. And he just goes back and does more.
All comedy has an expiration date.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's like,
unfortunately, in his case, he thought that expiration date hadn't hit yet. And he's like, these are things that happened in the past. Yeah, last month, you dumb fuck.
And then he goes and does another kind of comedy stand-up special and does some more. It's like, you're an idiot.
The sheer amount of things in life that you can just apply, adapt, or die to. Come on. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Change or get the fuck over it. Like,
Survival of the CrossFittest.
You know what? I just wish that everything was the same as when I had a career.
Back in my day. That's all it is. That's all it always is.
Wait, Chevy Chase?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you here?
Ew. Go wash your hands.
Yeah.
Should I soap my mouth for that one?
God damn, Chevy Chase. That's a real unfortunate one. That's a real unfortunate one. Though I'm not surprised that he is miserable to work with.
He's an asshole. He plays an asshole in everything he does. So, I mean, to just see that he, that's what he's like in real life is just, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with that.
I think we talked about it before. It's like, literally, that's what made him popular, was being an asshole. So he just kept being an asshole, and then it stopped being funny.
Yeah.
Well,
we're all doomed to one day become relics.
At any rate, The Joker is receiving very good reviews. Only one of us has seen it.
It was very good.
Only one of us lives in a society.
I was a little worried. There are moments that I was like, oh, what are they doing here? It almost felt a little celebratory. Like people were a little worried about that with, okay, the Joker's obviously unredeemable character. He's an asshole. Yeah. And there were moments where I was like, ooh, are they? But no, it was actually very, very well done. He was always an asshole, an evil person, and it was really good.
What's important to keep in mind with the Joker is the Joker as a character has always been a character that you are supposed to identify with at least a little bit.
A little bit.
Because he's supposed to be the dangerous villain where you can understand why he might want to do X, Y, or Z, because he's the none of it matters. Your existence is inevitable. Your death is inevitable. Like all these that kind of shit, and like in Dark Knight, when he's torching that pile of fucking cash, like. That's who he is, and to a certain degree, people who like look at the structure of our government and business and shit like that might go, yeah, you know what? Fuck yeah. But at the end of the day, he's also an irredeemable character, made more touchy in the adoption by incels for these, we live in a society where.
Incels, I almost said intels. Incels, an Intel Pentium processor.
Its startup sound is Milady.
Tips Fedora.
Oh man, okay. Well, so the Joker is.
At the end of the day, the whole movie, it boils down to Joaquin Phoenix is a treasure. Holy shit.
Yeah, he's a out of his mind method actor.
He's terrifying. He is legitimately terrifying in this movie, and it's really good. Definitely worth a watch. I loved it.
Yeah.
I shall eventually see it, for I feel pressured by the society in which I live.
It's a movie that I want to see, but it's not one that I feel like I need to go to the theater for.
Yeah, I feel like that's something I like to enjoy in a quiet room by myself, to get the full effect of...
Put on your own makeup while you're watching it.
I'm not a meme.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am thousands of memes.
I am meme incarnate.
I am not a single meme.
I am omni-meme.
I am the Unicron of memes.
Oh my god! Do you see that Unicron figure that they came out with?
Yeah, we've talked about it on the podcast before.
That's right. Yeah,
that thing's fucking expensive as hell.
Yeah, it's also
huge.
like almost like
it's like this big.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah,
and apparently it has articulation even in fingers and teeth.
You could use it to kill Dan.
Who articulates their teeth?
Unicron does, apparently.
Ooh. Now I'm just imagining being able to move your teeth around, and that's just weird.
Also, Tyler, you could not use that to kill me. I think you should have learned by now that it's going to require something of massive power to actually end my miserable existence.
Dan, I think you should go as Galactus for Halloween.
That would be pretty good.
We can get Tyler in a silver, spray paint Tyler silver, put him on a skateboard.
Oh my god.
I would be down.
That would be hilarious.
I just tell him to sick people, and he runs up to him and hits him with a skateboard.
Just right to people in the middle of the street. Just little kids.
Behold, I am Galactus and my herald, silver shitbag.
Out of context, they just get hit over the head by you, and they look across the street, and it's just me pointing at them.
So I had this antique scythe because, of course, I did. Like a long time ago.
Scythe?
Yeah, like farm implement.
Okay.
And I had this idea that I wanted to do for a long time that I'm glad that I never did. But I was just like, because there was like a high school not too far from where I was living, and I was just like, I should just buy like a Grim Reaper robe, and like a mask, and then stand across the street on prom night and point as cars are leaving the parking lot. I wanted to do that for a while.
No, the best thing to do would be to go outside a nursing home and just stand there and just point at all the old ladies and men as they're walking out.
Or like, don't even just point, just like hang out front of a nursing home and be like,
smoke a cigarette.
Just happy wave, like a far too animated wave.
Give them like the thumbs up.
Oh, hi, Diane.
Just yell out a random name and see who's.
Yeah.
Hey, Barbara, what are you doing?
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
I actually met
Jody.
They were very old.
Tomorrow's
Yeah, I
the day.
Also, I don't know if you can do it yet, but you may be able to now, or will in the near future be able to make your Alexa sound like Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be doing that for sure.
Yeah.
If anything, to just add another surreal layer to my life.
This is a Google Home, so I have no Alexas.
I have two.
If I can't clear my cookies by yelling, I want these motherfucking cookies off my motherfucking browser, I'll be disappointed.
And you swear a fucking lot, dude.
I'm so fucking sorry.
I wonder if he had to stay clean in the lines that, like, does that mean that Alexa's going to swear now?
I hope so.
Yeah,
it's not Samuel L. Jackson if he doesn't call someone a motherfucker.
Hopefully the
right?
option just tells you, like, by the way, he might say fuck.
Parental, guidance.
AKA, by the way, he's going to say fuck a lot.
No,
so that's really cool.
They just censor him like they did in Snake's on a Plane.
Yeah, right. Oh my god.
No.
Oh yes, this mother-loving plane.
Monday to Friday.
Monday to Friday plane.
Yeah.
Monday to Friday.
I want these monkey-loving snakes off this Monday to Friday plane.
Just like if you've got it connected to your smart home, like I've got, the automatic lock and shit like that. Be like, hey, Alexa, lock the back door. You got it, Monday to Friday.
Yes.
You got it, monkey lover.
That sounds worse than motherfucker,
that
actually.
Does sound worse.
That's a worse insult. Goddamn monkey lover.
I think I felt kind of weird in here, guys. I gotta go.
Yeah, it kind of makes me wish that I had an Alexa in the house, but I went Google Home for one very specific reason, and that's because Google Home understands context, repeated context, which Alexa does not. So if I ask it a question about someone, right? Like, let's say I ask
John
for someone's, some famous person's birthday or something like that, I don't have to repeat that person's name if I have another question about that person.
Oh. You could say, like, who is his? Like,
yeah,
what
you can
is,
say his, and Google knows
cool.
what it is.
I like that.
Yeah. So Alexa doesn't do that, but Google Home does. And I was like, that to me speaks for how more capable it is.
It's very interesting. As somebody who has neither of them, I don't know any of this stuff.
Yeah.
I turn off my switches with my hands.
I don't have any smart plugs or anything like that yet.
All right,
I just
Grandpa.
mostly use it for just like a routine in the morning and stuff like that.
Yeah, I like being able to use all of the speakers to broadcast music.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we've got like 6 or 7 of them in the house. So when we broadcast it comes out of all of them, and it's great.
Google can also get spooky.
Google can get spooky, which is fucking rad, and made even more rad when you have Philips Hue lights connected to it, because it fucks with. And if there's a Chromecast on the network, it brings up spooky, like video on YouTube on your Chromecast, starts flashing the lights, your Philips Hue lights, and playing like the old spooky tapes out of your Google Home.
That is awesome.
I've made eye contact with the cat over there.
Actually, I wonder. Hey Google, get spooky.
Yep. I've already done this at your house before.
You have?
Yeah.
Getting spoopy with it.
So it's not doing the light and whatnot, but yeah.
Disappointed. But it'll like make it flash and stuff.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Welcome to October, fools.
Are you a ventriloquist dummy?
Hey Google, stop. Uh-oh. Here's a cat. Hey Google, stop.
This podcast interruption brought to you by Google Home.
Also, I apologize to everyone who has a Google Home who is...
I don't understand.
That's fine. I apologize to everyone listening who has a Google Home, whose Google Homes I just triggered twice.
Well, you're probably not listening to it through your speakers.
That's true.
No, that's true. But I have said the trigger words on one of our episodes before, and I listened to it in my car just to make sure that everything,
Alexa,
sounds good.
And it killed my brakes.
And because it runs. I use Android Auto in my car. It interrupted the podcast every time I said, because it was waiting for me to say something to follow up.
my favorite one, and we'll screw with Amazon users now as well. But Alexa, open the pod bay doors.
Just go through and start saying things. We should do that every podcast. Just random things.
That's a secret. Or secret.
Those have become one of my favorite memes lately, with like Alexa intruder alert, and then they have a bunch of different constraints.
I have one. I made a little one for myself.
What does yours do?
Mine is Star Trek sounds, and then it runs a self-destruct timer.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
I saw one recently. It's for a Dark Souls 3 one. It says, Alexa, intruder alert. And it says, oh dear, another dogged contender. And then it says, deploy Claymore Roomba.
Oh, that's great. That's great. No.
Speaking of Roombas, I saw a video online the other day of beer pong next level. So you have cups taped to Roombas and put them on small surface tables, and those become your target. So they'll go randomly on the table and they won't go over the edge. And yeah,
that would be awesome. That actually would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's pretty clever.
Until you get your Roomba wet.
I love all of the applications for Roombas that aren't cleaning.
Yeah, right.
Oh man, well,
Roombas, the internet's favorite.
Speaking of funny
toy.
videos, I've been seeing a lot of hilarious videos about Untitled Goose Game.
I have seen a lot as well. I need to grab that.
Yeah,
I want to play it so bad. We need to do a Topless Robot plays with the Goose Game.
I want to play.
The way you said that was very weird.
I want to play Metal Goose Solid.
There are dedicated buttons for honking and flapping your wings at people.
Nice.
Much like with Dan.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Yep.
As a matter of fact, we have a live translation device built into these microphones. I am actually always honking at you.
God.
It's funny. I thought you did nothing but screech at people.
That is honking. Honking and screeching are one and the same.
That is honking.
What is the goose if not nature's screecher?
That's fair. Yeah, I need to get Untitled Goose Game. What's funny is a while back, the people at Crows played a little prank on the people at House. House is who made Untitled Goose Game. And I didn't know that, but I am subscribed to the Crows newsletter.
Because they're hilarious.
They're fucking amazing.
Are they counting Crow's cover band?
There's 3 crows.
I will let you be the only one to laugh at that joke.
I'm sure someone out there in Radioland is laughing.
No. Everyone is sighing.
Even if it's me listening to
Everyone is sighing.
You're just gonna make this true.
I can't remember what game it was about. It may have been about Accounting Plus, where they said, something along the lines of like, we're adding geese to Accounting Plus. And this, and if you have a problem with it, then email such and such. It was like house@house.hou.se. And it was basically like email all complaints too. And I was like, I'm going to be really funny and be like, you're just take it too seriously and send them an email. Not realizing that I had never heard of House. So I basically sent a strongly worded email to the creators of Untitled Goose Game to get the goddamn goose out of their fucking game because it's not true to it's pandering and shit like that.
Did they respond?
No.
Oh, okay.
Aw.
I was hoping desperately that they would respond.
House.
And they would
So-
probably tell you to fuck off.
This was in the newsletter from Crows, so I wonder how many emails House got from clueless idiots like me.
If
Hopefully plenty. And that's why they didn't respond.
Yeah.
if Crows is a Counting Crows cover band, then House is a Three Doors Down cover band.
You were thinking about that whole time.
No, I'd already thought of it. I was just waiting.
Sure. Sure you did.
Oh, Brooks.
I'll just take a walk around the world. Yeah.
Oh,
Ease
Brooks.
your trouble, mine. Why did I get sprayed? Why did I do
Because you're
sir?
encouraging him.
Good.
Because you laugh.
I
My laughter is pain. I am the jester of torment.
So yeah, I really want to play Untitled Goose Game, but it's not super high on my list right now. Still playing through Link's Awakening because it's fucking amazing.
To the frame still cut themselves in half.
Yep, it really sucks.
Blech.
I'm surprised that there hasn't been a
Soon, my pretty
update that would fix
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Dragon Quest XI Definitive Edition came out on the Switch, and I haven't gotten that yet, but I want to.
I love the idea of Dragon Quest, but that is definitely one of those games that I've tried to start, and it's just I get lost. I don't get lost. It doesn't capture me. I guess I don't know.
Maybe you'd like to play an easy Final Fantasy game.
No.
Oh, you could do, what was the first one they gave? Was it Mystic Quest?
Oh my god! Yeah. You can play Mystic Quest if that's more your speed.
Play the game that plays itself.
Yeah.
Look, I'm really adventuring.
Look at me, Ma.
I can jump in a Final Fantasy game.
I can jump in a Legend of Zelda game. That's a weird thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, it might be weird for you, but since that was the first game that I played, first Zelda game that I played, for me, I was just like, oh, why can't you jump in the rest of them? This is stupid.
It's all context. There's
Trying to
been a-
remember
speaking-
what the fuck else is going on this week.
we got a whole bunch of more gameplay and trailers for Last of Us 2, which we didn't get to talk about too much last week at all.
All right.
No multiplayer.
No multiplayer, which is very disappointing because I actually liked the multiplayer in the first one, and I want
The Laster of Us.
The Laster of Us, and but I'm okay with them focusing on it, and it's interesting that they're taking a more open world experience with it, and I don't know, it just looks really good. I cannot wait for this game to come out. I was watching a whole bunch of gameplay vids and. I know we talked a little bit about it, but the fighting system looks a little bit more. It looks like it'll actually. Yes, it looks more like a game whereas the first one felt a little bit more just like
A cutscene.
Yeah, it was a little bit more of a playable story, which I loved. It was still really good, but this one, the combat looks a lot more fluid. There's a lot more wrinkles to the combat, and then obviously still has the sneaking
my
around.
dad
trying to
actually
get
played
away.
The Last of Us. He enjoyed it quite a bit.
I never beat it, but I enjoyed it a lot. What I did play. The first 5 minutes.
I got a book. Got a Stephen King. I got the new Stephen King novel. That's pretty good.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that.
Yeah, it's The Institute.
Isn't there something else that he has coming out too?
I think he is.
Because I saw him post a cover recently.
It is a book.
It's
It is a book.
It's a pretty
Books by
so far
Brooks.
pretty typical Stephen King bit. Psychic kids being kidnapped and shit. So, for mysterious purposes, and it has a train car on the cover. That's how you know it's gonna be a good one.
Man, I could have sworn that he recently shared another cover for another book. I mean, it wouldn't be surprising considering how often he releases
that guy
books.
Cranks them out.
So the Institute 2019. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how many books he's written in total. This dude he never stops.
I just had his bibliography.
Yes, quite.
He's written a lot. And then, you also have to count the Bachman novels when he was...
Bachman is included in this.
Okay, when he was writing under a pen name.
Novels, 83.
When he gets too old to write, he's just going to have one of those computers that reads your eye gestures.
Yeah,
He's just going to write books until his brain stops working.
Novels, 83. Collections, 11. Nonfiction, 5. Others, 13.
Damn.
Yeah.
He's written a grip.
A grip.
A grip.
He's written a murder of novels.
Co-written by cocaine in a lot of cases. Like Cujo. He doesn't remember writing Cujo.
I did not know that. I never would have taken Stephen King for a coke addict.
Really? Oh,
Whoa,
yeah.
he's a super coke addict.
I don't know anything about him aside from the fact that he writes books. Like,
He is notorious for being a cokehead.
He enjoyed
cocaine.
Yeah.
cocaine.
that's how it keeps you awake when you're writing books, I guess.
He got hit by a van in 1999, and it changed his life. No, it was like some drunk.
The van was filled with coke, and it made him.
He had to roll around in it for a while, and he was high for too long. He vowed to never do coke again.
Stephen King, the ultimate years.
Apparently, his son, who's not using his last name, is doing well as a writer.
Yeah, Joe Hill.
Joe Hill.
Not to be confused with Jonah Hill.
Nah.
Was anybody confusing that?
Wait. Speaking of Jonah Hill, isn't he doing some? He's doing. I think he got a hold of some property. He's doing a movie about.
Yeah, I remember hearing about this, and I can't remember what the property is, but it sounded intriguing. Like Jonah Hill, it's weird to go from Superbad to Take Me Seriously, World.
Take Me Seriously.
He's been mostly doing the serious stuff recently.
Almost to it feels like he's trying to compensate for his history preceding that.
Because films any longer.
I think the first movie I ever saw him in was Grandma's Boy.
Oh yeah.
And he was huge. And then I think the first movie that was really basically built his career was Superbad.
Superbad.
Which has an amazing soundtrack.
When a man grows, he cannot make dick jokes anymore.
Yeah, right.
He must move on to PP.
But yeah, he was in Wolf of Wall Street. And it really seems like he's a great dramatic actor as well.
He was also in that, wasn't he in that movie about it's with Steve Carell and shoot, I'm just totally blanking on the name
Schmucks?
of it. No, it was a serious movie.
Oh, Welcome to Marwen? No, I don't think Jonah Hill was in that one.
I just suspect that, when people start getting movie deals, it's always you take what you can get. And I assume it's funny fat guy. And he used all of the fame that he was getting from being funny fat joke to, hey, now that I'm famous, you can put me in your movie.
He lost a bunch of weight and then became a streetwear icon.
Oh yeah, he did 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street, which were actually both really funny.
I loved the 21 Jump Street movies.
Oh, and he did Maniac, that Netflix series, which was really fucking good.
Fucking good for him, dude.
Yeah,
and War Dogs. That's right. War Dogs was a really good one.
To be able to break away from a
about
typecast is nothing to sniff at.
Oh yeah, it's monumentally difficult for a lot of people.
Yeah,
he has absolutely broken himself from that dumb comedy, kind of thing. Which
I'm trying
good
really
for
hard
him.
It's really hard to break out of the skinny quiet guy trope that I'll constantly fall into.
we
completely unrecognizable. We would never have noticed.
we're really trying to pin you into it too. You know, the harder you fight, the more we fight back.
Yeah, sorry. Bad pun.
Sorry, I left my spine at home.
Sorry.
Interesting.
You guys
Joseph
wanna listen to Elliot's-
Hillstrom King, with an umlaut over the O.
Of course.
Hillstrom.
That's how you know.
The
That
mark
he is the son of a writer.
It is the umlaut. It's a brand.
That is Stephen King's son, who has followed heavily in his footsteps. Apparently, starting in 1996. But the first thing that I've ever seen that's based on his work is Horns.
Yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe thing, which I
liked Horns.
thoroughly enjoyed.
It was really good.
I never saw it, but I did hear it was good.
Oh, and I brought it up on the podcast before, but there's that series that AMC is releasing called Nosferatu.
Oh, yeah.
That is Joe Hill's work as well.
Nosferatu.
Oh, and he's done a bunch of comics.
Yeah, that's where I first started hearing his name.
Lock and Key, Kodiak, The Cape, Thumbprint, Wraith, Welcome to Christmas Land, which sounds
Wraith
like,
Welcome to Christmas Land sounds like a hammy movie.
well, I think it's actually related to Nosferatu. Yeah, it is.
Wraith.
Wraith.
Which is a weird movie in and of itself. The Wraith. I think Emilio Estevez is in that one. It's like some phantom race car.
Apparently,
Okay.
Yeah.
apparently he's got a comic out this year called Basket Full of Heads.
Yes.
That sounds great.
Basket full of heads.
Sounds like a basket of laughs. That was also a joke.
A laugh and the world smiles.
But yeah, I am happy to see Joe Hill following in his dad's footsteps. Weird. It looks like he did a book with his dad.
Well, now that he's already gaining some of his own fame, I think he's probably a little more willing to lean into it.
Yeah,
So,
you know,
in 2009, there's a book called Full Throttle that was written by Joe Hill and Stephen King. Huh.
Full Throttle.
That would be interesting.
Well, yeah, it'd be a shame at the very least. And if the two never collaborated on anything just because he was trying to distance himself completely, I think that's a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Sure.
Once he's made a name for himself, I think it's safe for him to do that, which apparently he did.
But I mean, doesn't have to feel like he's in his dad's shadow anymore.
Yeah,
He's
sure.
He developed his own writing voice, and then he and his dad probably bounced off of each other to see what would happen.
But I imagine, like there are certain pairings for a collaboration that, you like kind of makes sense. You would expect that, but I wouldn't necessarily expect, especially when it comes to telling a story, that a child would collaborate well with their parent. Because, most of the good collaborations that we've seen have been like people who found their own writing voices independently, and they were similar enough voices where it only made sense that they should, be working together. Like Good Omens is a good example of that. But while Joe Hill has kind of, ventured into the same sort of style of writing, like what he's writing about as his dad, I just wouldn't expect it to be an inevitability that they would collaborate.
I mean, I don't think it'd be an inevitability, but it seems like a good idea to me. They develop their writing styles independently of one another. I don't think their relationship as parent and child necessarily has to reflect that in any way.
Because I would almost expect that, because of the power dynamics of that with parent and child, that Stephen King would be like, oh, no, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Where's my Coke?
And then, yeah, exactly.
All we have is diet, my lord.
Unacceptable!
But then Joe Hill's not going to challenge that because it's dad,
Well, I think he might, because he went out of his way to distance himself from that in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, who's to say what their relationship is like?
Sure, sure.
Like,
Yeah, it's all speculative, but I don't know. I think if you go out of your way to distance yourself from an easy claim to fame, you're probably hard-headed enough that you'd be willing to fight back a little bit.
Yeah, I suppose. But even thinking about any other author challenging Stephen King,
I imagine he'd be a dick about it. Yeah.
How many books have you had turned into movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, but how many of them
Who's
are
the
good?
most successful author on the planet?
Did you get hit by a van? I didn't think so.
Did you roll in a literal wonderland of coke? I didn't think so.
Did you buy the van that hit you and destroy it? Because that's what he did. Are you serious?
Wow, that is some crazy person shit
Not
right
only
there.
did he write himself and the accident into the Dark Tower series, but he eventually bought the van and destroyed it. Well, because like that was a turning point in his life, like as a writer, because he was just like, I need to continue. I have to finish the Dark Tower and other projects. And so it was this kind of catharsis he achieved. And then destroying the van at the end is probably like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I imagine the type of catharsis that could bring about is unprecedented. Like, that's got to feel fucking great.
I'm just imagining the scene from Office Space. Where
yeah,
but with a van. It's
PC load letter. What the fuck does that mean?
Just in slow motion, Stephen King just
To gangster rap.
throwing hard copy novels at it.
in between, he's just he's doing lines of coke and slow. No,
Off of his bat.
Yeah, right. Oh my god. It's just running the length of the whole bag. You just see him go.
and it's a comically long bat, so he's just it's going on for far too long.
You have like extra hands come on screen. Man, this is one of my favorite revelations in a while. I knew so little about him. I love to know that he used to be a coke maniac.
Oh yeah.
Now I can just make Stephen King coke jokes whenever I want.
dude, these Stephen King shitposting things that I follow are fucking great.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Dan can now divide his life into two periods: before he knew Stephen King's the coke addict, and after.
Post coke existence.
So this new Stephen King book, The Institute, looks interesting.
Yeah, I'm about 160 pages in.
The playground was surrounded by a chain link fence at least 10 feet high, and Luke saw cameras peering down at two of the corners. They were dusty, as if they hadn't been cleaned in a while. Beyond the fence, there was nothing but forest, mostly pines. Whatever the Institute was, it was in the middle of an old-growth forest, which meant in the middle of nowhere. As for the playground itself, Luke's first thought was that if there was ever a prison exercise yard for kids between the ages of 6 and 16, it would look exactly like this. The girl, Iris, saw them and waved. She double bounced on the trampoline. Sha, who got there? Who? I'm like, that
there?
doesn't make any sense. Sha, who you got there? This is Luke Ellis, Kalisha said. New this morning. That's a really weird back of the book
Usually,
thing.
I just read the inside of the dust jacket and then I just dive into the book because when anytime a book quotes itself on the back, I kind of roll my eyes a little bit. I'm just like, this means nothing. This means nothing without getting context.
Exactly. It's a completely out of context excerpt from the book. So I don't know what they're trying to say is like, hey, if you like the way these words are arranged, there's more of them inside.
Arranged vaguely similarly, but there's scenes.
Ashworth was silent for a moment, hands still on his hips, looking from his deputies and his night knocker to the boy asleep on the couch.
This episode of the podcast evidently brought to you by Stephen King's existence. I don't know.
The way that last line that you read, it sounded like it was a newscaster or something. This is Stephen Ellis.
This is Stephen Ellis here.
And that's just the way things crumble.
That's the way the news goes.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. It's been a while since I've picked up a Stephen King book. I think the last one that I read in its entirety was Dreamcatcher.
I haven't actually read Dreamcatcher.
The book is great. Movie is garbage.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
That's how it is with a lot of Stephen King movies. It's like,
yeah, the
there's such a
majority of them are
mixed
terrible.
bag.
Yeah, a majority of them are bad.
Maximum Overdrive.
But you take that back right this instant. Maximum Overdrive is a treasure.
or the Langoliers.
Yeah. There's
What were the good ones? We got It. The first It was really good. I haven't seen the second one.
oh, you mean the new one?
miniseries?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the miniseries is good.
Nostalgia paints that.
It's hilariously.
I mean, it's great
Weird.
if for no other reason than to see Tim Curry.
Yeah, and to hear the song "It's All Right to Have a Good Time" like 20 times.
Yeah.
Because it's the only song they could afford to license. So, like, anytime there's like a flashback, it's all right to have, and then it just keeps like cutting to it, like in the movie and stuff like that. It's
I didn't know that was the reason why they played that song so much.
And
Well, yeah, no, they just thought it was the only song fit to be played during this movie.
right.
It was-
we could afford to license 20, but we only needed one.
But the good Stephen King movies are really fucking good. Stand By Me, Shawshank Redemption,
Yarp.
The Green Mile.
Yarp.
Fuck, man.
Gerald's
Carrie,
Game.
Gerald's Game.
1922.
A lot of those old ones, Cujo, like
The Shining.
The Shining, which unfortunately that was not Stephen King's doing. That was a good movie. That was all the insanity of
The Mist.
The Mist is fucking great.
Mist.
The proper ending of The Mist.
I like the black and white version of the movie.
1408, isn't that Stephen King?
I don't know. I never actually saw it.
I think it is.
I know they're redoing Firestarter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Has anyone seen the new Pet Sematary?
No, I haven't. I want to though. I heard it wasn't great.
It is
but
Stephen King. 1408 is.
Okay,
I
that's
still got to seize it.
1408 was fucking awesome.
I see that one. It looks
Wait, is it like the haunted apartment one?
The haunted hotel room.
Oh,
with John Cusack and
did see part of it.
with Samuel L. Jackson. Very, very
scary,
good.
so I didn't see it.
Then we need to make you watch it. You will learn to fear. We've only just begun. Just hearing that song is
Baby,
going
can
to
you
make you
be your man?
uncomfortable.
I don't like it.
Let's not forget The Stand and the
I mean, we can forget The Stand.
the
Can we?
Rob Lowe playing like a mute guy.
Isn't Gary Sinise in that too?
I think so. Yeah. In fact, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that was not
MON.
great.
That smells bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
not great. Really not great.
And then Salem's Lot was also pretty okay.
I never saw Salem's Lot.
It's really long.
The Dark Tower was terrible
Yes, I didn't mention that for very specific reasons.
because it's unmentionable.
It's really bad.
But I mean, we at least for two of those that are mentioned, we potentially have redemptions on the slate for them.
Full
Yeah.
series of Dark Tower. That's gonna be great.
And
Wizard
The Stand.
Glass.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Wizard
That'll be
Glass,
really
which
cool.
is all the kind of like flashbacky prequel chunk of story that sets up the Dark Tower. So
right on.
should be good.
Yeah, I'm hopeful for that. I've been watching Creepshow,
I haven't watched it yet.
which I have been very happy with.
Yeah.
Predictably, Greg Nicotero being the executive producer means the creature effects are really good. And I mean,
How many have you seen?
so there are only 2 out.
Okay. Are there any like remakes of some
No,
of the
but there
old
are
stories?
nods to the old stories everywhere.
Perfect. Did the crate show up yet?
No, the crate hasn't shown up. The one of the actresses from the first Creepshow film, who kind of became a horror legend in her own right, is in the first episode.
Oh, rad.
Along with the dude who played Gus Fring in Breaking Bad.
Yes.
And Jigsaw.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And so it seems that they're telling 2 stories per episode.
Oh, okay. I like that.
And
Esposito is amazing.
the reference, so there's a Cujo reference in the first episode, in the first story of the first episode. It's just like a missing dog plastered on the thing. It says Cujo.
I like it when they do stuff like that.
There's a reference to the Wooden Chief in the second story of the first episode from Creepshow 2.
I never saw Creepshow 2.
Oh, okay.
I still need to. It's one of those things I haven't got around to. Just like I have to catch up on all the Phantasm movies.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that Stephen King wrote the first Creepshow movie?
Yep.
Because that's why he was in that.
Yep.
That was just, it was really fucking awful until the end. And then it was just like, oh shit. Oh wait, no, this is actually creepy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Started
turning into a plant.
Yeah.
My first interaction with Creepshow wasn't even Creepshow proper. The fucking Black Dahlia murder made a music video that's just a bunch of like recreations with the band of Creepshow sketches, pretty much.
No shit.
Yeah, it's fucking rad too.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah,
it's the one where the man like touches a meteorite and becomes a plant.
Yep. Yeah. That's Stephen King.
Yeah, Stephen King himself plays that guy.
The one where the guy gets buried on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just all that in the music video. They just swap the band members out.
Long time.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That was Leslie Nielsen.
Yep.
And the first time I saw it, I was just like, I kept waiting for it to get funny. So I was just like, Leslie Nielsen's here.
It's gotta be
Here it
funny.
comes. No, and it never did. And that's what was creepy about it. I was like, fuck, oh man, Leslie Nielsen's a psychopath.
If any of them are funny, it's the Stephen King one because he plays such a like an exaggerated yokel.
Definitely. Well, and it's funny because in the Something to Tide You Over is the name of the beach sketch.
Yeah.
Of course. The spooky music they play is just Camptown Races in a minor.
Camptown Races.
Camptown Races, sing this song. Doo-dah, doo-dah.
That's pretty great.
Once I figured out, because I watched that movie like a bunch when I first saw it. I was like, I love this. And then I was just like, I kept rewinding it. I was like, wait a minute. Oh shit, it is that song.
That's funny.
Why would you do that?
Now I want to make a horror movie where he just take like really corny pop music and just put it in all.
Mary had a little.
Well, I mean, they've done that to a lot of things. Like I can't remember what the fuck it was. The like making Smells Like Teen Spirit in a major, like and doing that kind of thing. I know that they've done that to a lot of songs that are it shifts them a lot.
But none will compare to
completely.
Camptown Races. Camptown Races, sing this song. Doo-dah, doo-dah.
Well, when you put it that way,
Camptown Races, sing this song. Oh, the doo-dah day.
We should just end this podcast with all of us looking at the camera and singing that song badly.
the best modification to an existing song was the slowing down of Jolene.
Oh yeah, it sounded like a nightmare.
It sounded great. I think it sounded better. Like it sounded really, really good.
Oh, maybe I'm just thinking of deep frying videos. Never mind.
Yeah, no, this is totally different. Like they just literally like slowed down the record for Jolene by Dolly Parton, and it sounds really good.
I haven't heard that. I need to hear that. That's
We'll put it on. after
Whoa,
the podcast.
lean,
no.
Speaking of at the end of the podcast, we have come to the end of the podcast. None of us have been playing games this week, have we? None of us have had time.
Last night, I intentionally sat down and turned to Barbie and was like, I have to play video games right now because I have to have had played video games at some point during this week.
I haven't played much, but I've done some strange things this week.
I've done Stranger Things.
Fuck you.
Dumped this water bottle all over myself.
That also was a joke. I was like a joke.
Joke meter.
So I have some friends who have been getting me back into playing Grand Theft Auto 5 online. Particularly Swolstein is his name.
Wolstein?
And Swolstein.
Oh, Swolstein.
And every mission ends in complete failure because you'll hear in your microphone in the middle of the mission, I'm Rambo. And then when you die, this game slows down and it gives you the message of who died. The amount of times my screen has said mission failed, Swolstein has died. On top of that, we got as many bots into our Discord as possible that we use to create the most punished soundscapes while people are trying to do things.
Oh yeah, you told me about
I spoke to you about this briefly, Ryan.
Yep.
But we managed to make an awful soundscape where you have jazz music playing very like softly in the background. And then you have loud ASMR eating noises playing, one of which only plays in one of your headphones.
Oh, no.
And then I also managed to... So you have to change the volume of the bots. And I had ones like... Everyone set this one to 1%. And it's bagpipe and drum music, like at the lowest possible volume. So it sounds like you're in a jazz restaurant with people loudly eating in your ears while someone plays the bagpipes in the streets outside.
Oh, man, what a nightmare.
Yeah, it's great. Now I think we have like 10 bots now, and now there's no safety. Like if you don't have them all muted by default and you're just sitting in the channel, someone will punish you for it. There's also the only thing I've done is
The soundscape of Dan's dream.
someone made a mod for Devil May Cry 5 that allows you to convert almost every other mission into a co-op capable mission. So I've just been playing with a friend, and you just do every Devil May Cry mission with somebody, and it's fucking cool.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Speaking of that, actual news, I've remembered something that happened. I guess PS4 got cross-platform capability.
Yeah, PS4 is now officially full cross-platform.
Hell yeah.
PS4 is now the cool person's console.
Well,
It kind of was. It's just joined the rest of the crowd with this.
yeah, PS4 has the best exclusives. I don't think anyone can argue that. But they were the only ones being little bitches about the whole cross-platform shit. Like
The people at Sony are dickheads.
yeah.
I mean, Spider-Man.
Well, I mean, it's back, which apparently, did you guys hear that? Apparently that's Tom Holland's fault?
It was a Christmas miracle.
Apparently Tom Holland was talking to executives, imploring them to meet back and come to an arreencement.
Oh, the humanity.
Supposedly.
He just called Sony's
Started crying.
Sony's president. I was gonna say just reenacted Oliver Twist. Please, sir, may I have some more?
Yeah.
It just said that on over and over again. What is that?
There's birds in Ryan's chimney.
There's birds in the chimney and bats in the belfry.
Has anyone else been playing anything?
Yesterday, I played all of Mega Man X5. I ran through just to refamiliarize myself with some of the fun things that you're going to be coming up on. You thought
Which I've never played this game before. Definitely not.
Wink.
Yeah. God, and weren't we like just recently talking about lost footage?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we lost footage.
Footage.
we will never speak
cursed
of lost footage
ourselves.
again.
Yeah.
But,
Shit.
I said again.
Well, we just did, and we're about to record.
Look what you've
I also
done.
played Sonic CD.
Look what you've done. Brooks, it is 100% your fault if we lose footage after this.
No, I've been practicing guitar in lieu of playing video games all week. So
Good on you. Life skills.
trying to. But you, what hast thou been playing besides thyself?
I have not had any time to play games at all this week.
Congratulations.
All business.
You played yourself.
I played myself. I played myself. No, yeah, I didn't get a chance to play. I mostly, saw Joker, but all week I played a little bit of Rock Band. I did play Rock Band
Yeah.
That's a given.
I did too.
at my house, not just at the party last night.
Okay, I was going to say.
But also, I picked up the guitar again and started playing and trying to make me feel like I'm still good at the
Make
game.
you come tonight over to my house.
Yeah, that's what I played.
We made you watch that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I've just been playing Link's Awakening. Pretty much.
It's a fun game.
It is
I mean,
a very fun game.
I can only speak from the original standpoint, but soon.
Soon.
Christmas is coming.
But soon.
Cavendish is coming.
Sure. On that note, thanks for watching and or listening. Cavendish is coming. We'll see you in the next one.
Shit, fuck ass.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm taking off today at 3. Sometimes you have to sit
again.
Hey everybody! Once again, I started talking at length about Hamilton, so Dan decided he was going to put me in the shame box. If you want to see all of our fun talks about musicals and everything like that, probably don't watch. But, still subscribe.
This is what you get when you sing.